So another period of sitting meditation. As usual, begin by establishing a comfortable posture. Straight back. Be aware of your legs, whether you're sitting cross-legged, half lotus, full lotus, or on a chair. Bring attention to your body in the present moment. Close your eyes. Just run your attention up and down your body. Be aware of any physical sensations, any stress or tension in your muscles. Try to relax. Try to push up from the base of your spine as you're sitting. Bring your attention to the sensation of the in-breath and out-breath. The tip of the nostrils, or at the chest, or at the abdomen, whatever you're most familiar with and find comfortable in your meditation. And this is a longer period of meditation for 1 hour. So you'll need to practice patience with your own mind or body. You may experience some pain coming up, or just the wandering mind or sleepiness. And that's where you have to practice and train yourself to bring up mindfulness to overcome the hindrances or the obstacles. Teach yourself to let go, teach yourself to see the uncertain nature of your thoughts so that you don't believe every thought and get caught up in it. Watch thoughts come and go, feelings come and go. If you want to investigate the Dhamma, then bring your mind to investigate the body. Lumpur Cha encouraged us to run through the 32 parts of the body. Send your attention to each one, visualize it, contemplate it. Get to see the body in a new light. It's not self. It's made up of 4 elements, 32 parts. And there's something that's impermanent, changing. If you feel drowsy in the course of the meditation, then open your eyes, draw in the light from the room that you're in. If you're really sleepy, you can stand up, stretch, go and have a wash, walk around a bit, come back, sit down. But if you can, just try to sit through it, with it, and establish mindfulness in the midst of that sleepiness until you've shaken it off. Then your mindfulness will be really strong and firm. You'll gain more confidence. If you have angry thoughts arise based on memories of other people, events that didn't go the way you want, unpleasant memories, then use metta. Bring up the thought and the feeling of loving kindness to calm your mind. Bring up the sense of tolerance towards whatever it is that stimulates the aversion or the anger. If needed, then practice forgiveness. Forgive that person for whatever they've said and done. Move on. Don't linger on the past. Don't dwell in aversion. If it's desire for something that you haven't got, you want some pleasure, contemplate the impermanence of that desire. The impermanence of the pleasurable feeling you might get from getting that thing that you want. doesn't last. And all the while it's disturbing you, bringing you discontent, agitating the mind. In the end, it's only just that much. So practice being patient with desire and ultimately letting it go. And try to find that place where you're relaxed with the breath, even enjoying the breath. Enjoying the practice of letting go rather than hanging on. So I'll stop talking now and we'll sit quietly, see how you go. Coming back for another session of sitting meditation, practicing mindfulness of breathing, and also developing insight into the three characteristics of existence. So mindfulness directed to body, feelings, the mind, and to the Dhamma. So observing as we meditate how craving arises. If you're meditating, perhaps the most common kind of craving you experience is the desire to move if you have painful feeling, or the desire to distract yourself when you're experiencing painful feelings, tiredness, or a state of mind you're not happy with, irritation, distraction. We tend to look for something more pleasurable, more interesting. Maybe just changing posture, wanting to change posture, or wanting to do something else, or even just thinking about something else, fantasizing. So learn to recognize that habit, how when you're feeling tired or experiencing some painful feeling in the body, try and catch the desire for distraction or to move as it's arising. See if you can just hold your attention. Be patient. Be mindful with the feeling. Before you move, just be aware of that desire coming up in the mind. If the pain is not too intense, you may find you can just watch it. Know the painful feeling. Know the desire arising in your mind, wanting to move, but not following it or indulging it. Just observing it arise, pass away, and sticking with your current posture, returning to the breath, letting go of the desire at that moment. If that's done with full awareness, then you know desire is impermanent. It's not self. And you become more confident in the ability to observe craving or desire and let it go. Or if you have to move because the pain is so intense, then just establish that awareness of the desire arising in your mind. Pause and then move if you have to. But with mental desire, just to distract yourself with imagination, fantasy, try not to give in. If you're sitting comfortably, then teach yourself to let it go. Come back to the breath. Teach yourself to drop it. Now is not the time to plan your next pleasurable experience. You don't need to plan what you're going to eat next, where you're going to go on holiday, or who you're going to talk to or meet next. Teach yourself to drop those, to let it go. And similarly with aversion that arises. As you're falling into aversion, notice how it's triggered by painful feelings. Not just painful feelings in the body, but also unpleasant memories will trigger aversion. Remembering somebody who has annoyed you, thinking about what they said or did. See how there's a little bit of tension that arises when you think of that person. And if you're not mindful, you tend to just cling to the memory of what is bad or wrong or what you dislike about the person. And you're stuck there unless you can establish mindfulness and let go. Maybe let go by accepting them for who they are or what they've done and dropping that thought. Recognizing that that person is no longer here, it's just a memory and you can drop it. Practicing forgiveness or turning your attention to the thought of metta when anger is being triggered, turning back to metta, kindness, tolerance. Seeing how when we hold on to angry thoughts, we're hurting ourselves. We're darkening our mind. Because angry thoughts are rooted in kilesa, aversion, delusion. And we're only making our experience of this mind worse when we hold on to those thoughts. It's in our own interest to let them go as we're meditating. But to let go, you have to be mindful and then see what you need to do. Whether it's bringing up a better thought, just using the mindfulness to the breath and then letting go of the aversion, being patient with the feeling. This is training the mind in meditation, both establishing mindfulness on the breath and then sometimes using wisdom to help see the impermanent nature of your mind states, to see how they harm us if we cling and hold on to them, and see that it's better to let them go, and the mind goes to a higher place, a better place. All that patient effort pays off, and the mind relaxes and becomes at peace in the present moment. If we keep doing that, then we may experience samadhi, where the mind becomes very bright, one-pointed, at ease, happy within itself. We call it the smiling mind. So internally, the mind is content and happy, not needing anything else to be happy. So not needing to think about anything that makes us angry or upset, not needing to fantasize or imagine about sensual pleasures, not needing any external experience to be happy, just content with attention turned inwards to the mind itself, with a continuity of mindfulness, with rapture, with happiness, one-pointedness. The mind is at ease within itself. And maintain that as long as you can. Keep putting effort into bringing mindfulness to the breath and to be aware of the mind itself. So for the next period, we have another period of sitting meditation. I'll stop speaking and we can practice together until you hear the sound of the bell.